All right. We are live. Sportsman's Outfitters, Facebook.com with Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour, owner and founder of Profound Outdoors, and star of Timmy Horton Outdoors on the Pursuit Channel, Mr. Timmy Horton.
What's happening, man?
You doing all right? How's things in
Yeah.
North Alabama today?
Hey, it's busy. We've been out filming all day today, and I think Kim and I have got about 100 irons in the fire, so we're trying to manage all of those, but things are going good.
That's great, man. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be here and talk about some fishing and some other things, and
Yeah.
just have a good little chat. We'll have some folks joining us here in just a little bit, I'm sure. Give everybody a little bit of time to catch up with the live video.
All
Uh,
right.
let's see, our little watch party there. So I guess while we're getting started, man, we're gonna do some giveaways after the video's over. We're gonna give away a Profound Outdoors prize pack
Well,
to folks. Anybody who wants to comment, they're going to be entered to win. And then if anybody asks a question, we throw it up on the board and you answer it. We'll make sure we give them an extra chance to get some prizes.
I
So
like it. I like
uh,
it. All right.
it's awesome, man. So I guess tell me, a lot of craziness in the world right now. Tours on hold, fishing's on hold. What you been up to, man? What you been doing to kill time?
Well, I wish I had time to kill. We have been extremely busy. Kim and I, we've been filming nonstop. Profound Outdoors has still been running. Obviously, the warehouse is we've been shipping out the entire time. So our group and employees have been working there, and that has been wide open. I think the biggest thing is just working harder at social media, trying to get some things caught up. We started a new hunting and fishing lodge, Willow Oak Lodge, and this has gave us some time to be able to be out there a little more and get things going before we open full bore come October.
Yeah, I saw. I think you guys did a video from there today. You were releasing some minnows and talking about the
Yeah,
giant crappie and everything that were in there. What's the big
yeah.
thing you caught in there so far?
Well, it's pretty cool. We that pond. It's a large spring fed pond there. That one we were at today, and it's been there since my grandfather, uh, had the place years ago, and it's just cool to put the minnow traps out and Robinson Branch that runs through there and be able to go feed the bass and the crappie is just pretty cool.
Yeah,
Something our kids love to do too. It's just how kids are with minnows and
yeah,
all of that's pretty cool stuff. So.
yeah. Shoot, man. I don't know, kids. You talking about me? I like going out and minnow fishing and doing all that stuff too, man.
Yeah, hey, we're all kids when you got a
Yeah,
minnow and a cork or
nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong
uh,
with that at all. Well, that's good to hear, man. That's pretty cool. So just other than that, I mean the TV show. You've been doing any filming for that?
yeah. Pickwick has been really, really good. The smallmouth fishing on Pickwick Lake has been as good as I've seen in many years. So we are actually going to go back out and film tomorrow. We've got, I think, 2 shows left to do for the year. And we'll be through with 2020. And as soon as that's over with, we'll be starting on 2021. And pretty cool. We got a really good Z Boss 8 show a few days ago. And a Big Boss, one of our new Azume lures. Um, and just having a lot of fun. Filming shows, designing lures, and then going out and using them. It's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. Um, Once again, we got some folks jumping on now, and just not sure everybody who heard beginning with. We are going to be giving away some prizes here at the end of the video, or actually, we'll probably do the drawing for the prizes tomorrow. But all you got to do is comment, ask a question. That gets you. If you ask a question and we present it to Timmy and he answers it, then that gets you an extra drawing in the prize package. Um, so I guess it was either yesterday or today. Major League Fishing announced you guys are, I guess, going back to work June the 7th. The Kissimmee chain, man. What's that going to be like fishing down there in the middle of the summer?
Well, it'll be hot for sure. But I think the biggest thing is what's cool for all of us is now we have a starting point. Everything's been in limbo for so long, and we're sitting on G waiting on O, and we're right there at that moment now to get things going. And I think that's the biggest thing. But I think Kissimmee will be cool. That Heavy Hitters is a cool format. going to be a cool event, and man, it's just going to be a lot of fun. But more importantly, anticipating getting started. There's been a lot of history at that place for all of us. I believe I had a win there in 2002. Gosh, that was many years ago. But a really cool place, and there will be a lot of big fish caught. The thing about Florida is a lot of people don't realize, because we all go in the wintertime, just how good the fishing is there in the summer. Those fish eat all year long.
Yeah. Is that going to be? I know those lakes down there are kind of different than what we're used to up here. Never had the opportunity to fish down there, but do plan on getting down there. Later this year sometime. But from what I understand, it's not. You say you go to a place like Eufaula, and during that time of year, it's a ledge lake or it's a deep water brush pile lake. How is how are the lakes down there during that time of year? Are they similar, or is the water not as deep? Or I mean, how do you approach that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. The Kissimmee chain, you got Lake Toho, and it has about 10 foot maximum depth. Lake Kissimmee is probably 12 to 15. And then you've got Hatchinahaw and Cypress, and they're both a lot shallower. Cypress is only about 5 foot deep, and Hatchinahaw about 7 or 8. So you've got those four lakes, and then some canals that connect some other smaller lakes. But um, you're obviously not looking for drops. Everything's like a bowl, as far as things like that go. But it'll either be really, really thick cover catching those fish, or it'll be out in open water. There is a lot of hydrilla there, so you get some open water fishing going too. So it'll be it'll be pretty cool, and with that format of catching big fish, it'll be really neat.
right? Well, that's great, man. I know I'll be pulling for you. I know I've been ever since I talked to Kim and we set this up, man. I've been telling everybody around here knows I'm a big Timmy Horton fan. So I've been like a kid on Christmas Day, just all day today, just like man, get to talk to Timmy Horton later. So uh,
Awesome, man. I appreciate
excuse my giddiness. So you got a 40-year-old man that's just absolutely giddy to talk to you. So that's
it. Well, hey, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy getting to hang out with our fans and all that good stuff. So that's cool. Glad to be here.
glad to have you. Glad to have you. All right, so before we get into to profound, you're a pretty big Duckett guy.
Hmm.
You've got your couple of models in the Pro Series. I've actually got one of the Pro Series rods right here. This is actually it's not one of yours. It's actually one of the Gary Klein models. Uh,
Hmm.
we had this one here. Folks
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
I've got the Lose Pro Ti reel on that.
Love it.
Well, that's actually a beautiful little combo right there. That white and purple.
I
Uh,
love it. Hmm.
don't know
Yeah, I've
who.
got that. I've got that exact setup in my boat. I use that Gary Klein flip stick there. Have you got the 8 foot, or which one have you got there?
This is actually the 7-1 medium. This is
Okay, the
the little
7-1
cranking
medium.
reel. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't used that one as much, but I like his 8 foot flip stick. But yeah, those Pro Series rods are all balanced really good, and that Pro Ti reel as well. So that's an
yeah,
awesome setup. It's funny. It's I get to use that stuff all the time, and here I am looking one, and I get giddy wanting to hold it and cast it. But anyway,
yeah.
cool stuff.
Oh man, it's great. I could sit here and just play with these things all day.
Uh huh.
I knew this was coming, man. I told him I wasn't going to bring this stuff up, but there's Tom with a big war eagle. And
Hey, War Eagle brother, I like it. I
he,
like
he told me today. He says he really hopes he gets to see you this fall at Auburn football games. He's been
it.
worried to death that Auburn wasn't going to be able to play. So there
Yeah,
you go, Tom. There's your war eagle.
love
Man, it,
it.
it hurts. I won't hold that against you, man.
I,
I like you just the
hey,
same either
hey,
way.
hey, Kim's a big Bama fan, so she
I
she evens out the household.
I like it, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, that during football season, you guys, you post your boards on your picks and everything, and you can kind of always tell, who the Alabama fan is and who the Auburn fan is. And I know you
yeah.
guys try to stay biased, but it's hard, man. And football's great. It just kind of brings everybody together, except for that one day out of the year,
That
and we
one
all
day out
kind
of
of
the
hate
year.
each other, and then the next day we know we're all buddies again. So,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
uh, but tell me, I mean, you know the. The Duckett series. I'm a big fan of the old T-Rex series that they've discontinued. I've got a couple of those. I've really liked the Insight series, but for the guys out there, I guess your weekend guys that are worried about spending $200 on a rod, tell me what the difference is really between what's the advantage of going with a Pro Series over something like the Insight that's more of a Duckett price point.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is for us is that Pro Series was how much time went into all those blanks and developing them and exactly how we wanted them. I actually have three rods in the series. I've got the 7.3 medium heavy, and that rod, I tell this all the time, is like the best all around rod. I throw my lipless crankbaits on it. I throw my shallow running crankbaits on it. I throw spinner baits on it, and you can even do some light worming with it and stuff. Top water fishing, jerkbait fishing, just about 60 to 70% of what I do with that rod. And then we have my 711 cranking, which I feel is the best cranking rod ever designed. It really loads up, it launches. I can throw it with that BB1 Pro just a country mile. And then we have the 7.6 heavy, which I do a lot of jigging, flipping, another versatile rod that you can do a lot of different applications with. I think the biggest thing, fishing, just about everything across the board. Um, as the saying goes, you get what you pay for. Yep, there it is. And you know, with the fibers, with the resins, everything in it being top notch, the guides, the blanks, the real seats, um, the handles, just everything about them is more of a higher end. And Duckett has a lot along the lines. The Green Ghost and a lot of them that are a lower price point. So what we really try to do at Duckett is have something for every angler.
Right, and Boyd has done a great job. You guys, I know, I like your series. I like the Klein series, the KJ series. All feel really great, in the
Mm-hmm.
hands. Probably gonna have to start fishing with a couple of those myself. I know we got a lot of guys in our area that love them, and we sell a bunch of them online. And just the feedback has just been absolutely incredible. Uh,
Gotcha.
so
Yeah.
just absolutely great series of rods.
Awesome.
All right. Well, let's talk about Profound a little bit, man. I finally got my hands on the Z Boss this past
Mm-hmm.
weekend. Uh, was able to throw it around some. Didn't catch a whole lot because the wind was blowing. It was on you fall, and the wind was blowing straight out of the north, what seemed like about 600 miles an hour. Um, but this bad boy right here, that's the Z Boss 10 in that Mad Gill color.
Yeah.
The fish won't chomp on that, man. They won't chomp on anything. That
Hey,
is good to the bone.
yes, that is a cool color with that powder blue and that mustard mixed in. It's funny. I guess that color came out about three years ago, and we had a list of about 10 colors that we were going to pick from and bring three new colors in for the year. And there were three or four of us deciding, and that one was not on my list. And the other team wanted it really bad. Some of the other guys did in the design process, and the next year that was our number one selling color was Madgill, and it was just it was pretty cool to see how that transcended with fishermen, and then you see those reorders that tells you they're catching fish on them, so that has been a really really awesome color for us, no doubt.
Right. Yeah, I think that one, and then the Tennessee River. I like that one a lot. That's a color we use in Eufaula a
Hmm.
lot. That
Yeah,
profile, man, is just
yeah.
absolutely awesome.
There's something about that lavender back with that pink sides to it, a little bit of a pink hue that just really catches them. And you follow the Z-Ball series has, gosh almighty, the guys are winning there. I know last August, September, there was a 30-pound bag weighed in on it, and just a lot of fish. That's a cool angle that you're holding it up there for the guys watching at home. The thing about it, if you run your finger from that bill up to the head of that lure, you you don't hit any obstruction, which makes it extremely hydrodynamic. And that's what causes that lure to run so subtle. That Z-Boss 10, you can hit 11, 12 feet with it. Z-Boss 20, you can hit 15, 16. And they just, they are so much softer than other lures to be able to get down to the maximum depth. They don't wear you out. They just really pull really, really good.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I was really impressed with the not just the how straight it ran right out of the box. Um, the rattle that it puts off, I mean, is real distinct compared to what you get out of a bunch of the other
Mm-hmm.
crankbaits that you see. Man, just honest with you, I'm in love with it.
Yeah. And the,
And
and the
just
castability, ain't that
the
incredible how they
castability, yeah,
cast?
yeah.
Yeah.
And just to let everybody know, these two baits here, I did take them out of the box, but those are part of the prize pack that we are going to be giving away. So you're going to get two cool brand new Z Boss 10s. Maybe without the Mad Gill because I may keep that one for myself too. We'll see. Uh, and the other one, the other color that I'm just absolutely just going crazy over is that Gold Digger
Yeah.
chartreuse right there.
Mhm.
That's the deep clawed hopper, of course. Haven't had a chance to throw that one, man, but that thing right there, the picture just doesn't do it justice. That's an absolute beauty.
Yeah, there's a lot of purple mixed in that blue, and that's kind of a dull faded chartreuse, which is a really hot deal and really been trending here the last few years. But yeah, that's a top seller as well.
Right.
Hmm.
Uh, Kind of going back to Duckett right here just a second. Kevin Watford wants to know as far as the Pro Series, how do they compare to the high end Loomis and Dobbins weight wise?
Yeah, to be honest with you, Kevin, I have not. I wish I could answer that better. I have not held the Loomis and the Dobbins as far as comparing it from a weight standpoint. I can tell you this. I have used really light rods years and years and years ago, and to me, it don't balance as good. You need some weight at the end of that rod tip when you're holding that rod up, and if all of your weight is in that reel handle, and you don't have a little bit of weight forward to help balance that, then you're going to find it tipping back on you all day. Um, but I have not compared them. I have no idea how they compare on those two.
All right, so I've got a couple of different, not only just on our stream right here too, but Chad Wise was over on one of the other watch parties, and he was wanting to know after those crankbaits wear out from catching fish, how are they throwing at jet skiers that come in too close?
Hey, it's getting that time of year, ain't it, Jamie? I'm telling you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've it's been pretty hectic on Eufaula, man. It's and of course by no means are we water selfish or anything, but the jet skis and the big boats, they've made it interesting for the bass fishing the last 7 or 8 weeks during the middle of all this
Yeah.
quarantine.
See, you guys are about 10 degrees ahead of us on water temperature, so you guys are getting it already. It's just kind of starting here, but I tell you what has been cool. A little silver lining in all of this. Just really bad deal we got with this pandemic is all the kids that I've seen out fishing too. I know you've seen that on
Yeah.
Eufaula, just like it's been here. That's been cool to see, and I think I read something the other day where hunting licenses were up more in the state of Alabama during this turkey season than they've ever been. It just
Right.
shattered records. So it's really cool to know that some people have been introduced to hunting and fishing that normally haven't been. So that's been a little bit of a silver lining in all of this.
Absolutely. And, we're, of course, myself and a lot of my friends, we're heavily involved in the high school series, the Bass Nation, the ASA, BFA. So anytime we can get kids out on the water and, teach them about fishing and get them catching fish and get them excited, it's a great thing, man. So,
Yeah, no doubt.
nothing but love for all those kids out there that are, trying to get used to being on the water.
Mhm.
Brian Leslie wants to know what's your number one crankbait color, your go-to.
Number one crankbait color, and that changes throughout the years. I would probably say all overall in the Z-Ball series, the Blue Moon, and that's that powder blue white with a little bit of chartreuse on the belly. That Blue Moon is probably, but I would say trending right now the Purple Haze. That Purple Haze is
Oh yeah,
really, man, I just can't get enough of it. We went out and fished kind of a shad spawn deal that was happening here on Pickwick the other day. I don't know if y'all shad spawn is still happening or not, but it's wide open here right now. But
Mhm.
and that Purple Haze was just outperforming everything we had. So I like all of those shad patterns. A Pale Rider is another really cool color we have. Ironically, not as big a seller as some of the other prettier. I guess you would say it's kind of a dull looking deal, but man, it's a fish catcher. So I would probably say those three: Blue Moon, Purple Haze, and Pale Rider would be my three favorite.
Yeah, I saw that purple haze, and I really wasn't going to talk about that one because of
Yeah,
all the local folks listening. But yeah, that's a great color too. Thanks, Timmy.
yeah.
Moving right along. Uh, Jeremy Stevens, he said, and I'm not even up to date on this, but will you be participating in the FLW Super Tournaments?
I tell you, Jeremy, I have not made up my mind yet on those. Those are four events that FLW and Major League Fishing are kind of combining there. and have not decided yet. This one thing that I have going on that's a little different than the guys competing. Only only on the tournaments only is my television show, and it really depends. We were limited on where we could travel to get caught up on shows, and we're usually doing a lot this time of year. So we are. We've got to look at that, but I haven't made my mind up. But I do have to make it up here in the next 4 or 5 days for sure.
And that's have they announced the lakes that those are going to be on?
They have. I know a few of them off the top of my head. I know Chickamauga is one of them. I believe the Mississippi River in La Crosse, Wisconsin, is another one. And the other ones aren't jumping out yet. I don't believe that are off the top of my head, but I do need to look into that.
All right, we talked about the crankbaits. Before we move into the plastics, let me give you a little scenario here. And before anybody asks, no, this is not an information grab or anything like that. I've already been accused already of trying to get some information on the Florida lakes. But let's just say we'll take just Eufaula for example, because that's where a lot of the guys listening are from. Uh, Middle of July, 95 degrees out, water temps up in the mid 80s. What is Timmy Horton doing to try to catch fish? You starting shallow and then going deep? Are you going to run that deeper running Z boss, or I mean, what's the game plan going into a situation like that?
Yeah, it's graphing. And listen, if I'm on Eufaula from right now all the way till Thanksgiving, that's what I'm going to be doing. One of the best shows we ever filmed was about 3 years ago, and I'll never forget because it was just a dead slick day. And you know how cool that is when you're offshore, and you got just a slick day. And we had that. It was actually the day before Thanksgiving 3 years ago on Lake Eufaula. Best Z Boss 20. We just stroked them out there on the deep ledges, but all the way from and I like stuff even above Lake Point on some of the ledges up through there, but from Lake Point really all the way down to White Oak, all of the stuff in between, man, I love it. And you get on down below between Barber and Patala on down the lake. Now you're getting more into a Z Boss 22 or Z Boss 25. Some of those fish get a little deeper on the ledges down there, but you see, what I love about Lake Eufaula is it is flat out a cranking lake. Some of the fish on Pitwick here where I live get a little too deep. They'll get in that 27 to 30, sometimes later in the summer.
Yeah,
But Eufaula, man, it is just it's one of my favorites.
yeah. Chad Wise wants to know what they reannounced the elite schedule. They're coming to Eufaula next month. What do you think the weights are going to be like next month?
And I think it will be good. There's what are they there? June
June the 7th, I think. I
June
think it's the
7th.
same week you guys are at Kissimmee. Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's dead on. I mean, end of May, 1st of June, when they first get out, it's when it's the best too. And I know they're already starting to get out there, but um, I foresee several 20 to 25 pound bags per day in that event. It may even take 92 pounds to win it. So I think it could be really, really good.
Wow, that's some good weight. Of course, these there's been a lot of good weights coming out of that lake lately. Even seems like everything's behind just a little bit. The weather's been kind of funky. It was up and down all spring, and we just had
Hmm.
another cold front come through. So I don't know, man. It's seems like it's a little late. So I
It
don't know.
has been. It's been crazy here. We had a warmer March than we did April. It was just almost right backwards, um, but they're about to get out everywhere. I mean, they spawned early because we had such warm weather in March, but we haven't had enough warm water to push them out completely yet.
Mhm. So I've got right here. I've got a couple of your Klone soft plastics. One of them is the KJ crawl.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good looking. I guess we call that a tube crawl,
Yeah.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Really good looking bait. I like that. And then the 6 Mile creature, which I really, 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 really like. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as
Yep.
of course, I would use that as a trailer or maybe even a light flipping bait. But tell me about the KJ crawl. What's the story behind that? I'm assuming it's the Kelly Jordan deal.
Yeah, it is. Kelly designed that. He's just always been crazy about that lure, and he's won a lot of events on that type lure. Before Klone was developed, he won on the Potomac River on a lure very similar to that, and then he developed that one there. And it has the appendages. It has the tube feel, which is that smushy feel when a bass takes it, and then it has the crawl appendages on it. Just rigs really good, but it's a bulky bait. It's a big bass bait.
And the 6 Mile Creature, that's a Toledo Bend deal, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, exactly. I like it that you noticed that. Yeah, 6 Mile Creek is the historic, largest, one of the most popular creeks on Toledo Bend, and the reason we named it that is just a great little bush flipping bait, flipping the bushes, cover. It's a little bit more of a compact profile creature bait than what you normally see, and just like you described it, a smaller flipping bait.
Right. So you'd use that flipping, or maybe even a trailer on a jig or a swim.
Yeah.
What about a swim jig? Would that be a good swim jig type trailer?
Yeah, it has those legs that are going to jump out and spread out and really jump when it's coming through the water. So great on a swim jig, and I even cut off about a half inch on it and put it as a football jig trailer as well.
All right. So John Skipper, you may know that name. Uh, he wants to know if fishing Wilson next month, what would be your lure choice?
Let's
Sounds like
see.
John's going to Lake Wilson.
Especially up next on the upper part, the lower part probably deep like a 1 ounce.
We're having some connectivity problems.
All right. Did you hear some of that?
No, I think we missed all of it, or at least I did.
All right. What I was saying is the upper part is great cranking water from about Shoals Creek up, and then up in Shoals Creek, cranking water as well. And on the lower end, deeper, they'll get in that 7 to 30 foot range, like a 1 ounce football jig. Our October Pumpkin Swampers 1 ounce jig is best selling color there.
Okay. Uh, Jeremy wants to know if we're selling the clone crawls. We are selling some of the clone crawls at sportsmansoutfitters.com. Jeremy, if you can't find the color that you're looking for, you can also buy those direct from profoundoutdoors.com.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and that clone crossum is probably the one he asked about. That is our number one selling plastics. That 6 Mile and KJ, they all sell real good as well, along with that clone crossum.
Yeah, I thought I had some of the crossums over here, but I don't see them. Um, let's see what we got here. Any plans to produce an ultravide swimming type worm?
Um, Man, we've got a lot of them in plans. You know, one of the big moves we're going to make. We've really got Swampers up. We got Azume up. Azuma's what we call our black boxes because they come in black boxes, just real popular there. But we've got a lot of new developments coming up. Yeah. When I go film a show, Kim just says, make sure you do shows on them black boxes.
Hey man, they look
They're
great. And
and
they're hard to get into. Also, I don't know who's putting those tapes on the top. Man, I've
yeah,
ordered so many packages already.
yeah. Don't want them coming out when we're shipping them. But we do have a lot of new clone plastics coming out over the. And it's a process, it's a deal where when you flood the market too hard with too much, too many, you really can't give it the marketing that it deserves. So we do have some plan to come out.
Great. So I guess while we're on that subject, you've talked about some baits. Is there anything exciting that you guys were going to release at ICAST this year? Or I mean,
We have a new top water prop bait that's really cool, and I don't want to give too much on all of it. We have a jerk bait that's coming out that's brand new. We have some new stuff in the Swampers line as well, but those are just some that we're working on. We've got a hollow body frog that's coming out, so a lot of different things.
cool. That yeah, the hollow body frog is big time down here
Mhm.
also. So I mean that's
Yeah,
great to hear.
there's a few lily pads in Cowicky in it.
Yeah, yeah. Be interesting to see, man, the colors that you do, not just on your crate bait, but your plastics. I'm going to be interested to see how those frogs look. There ought to be some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah,
Um, and kind of talking about, I was just kind of looking here, and I keep going back to this guy right here. The rattle baits, the lipless crankbaits.
hmm
Your Checker Z right there. That's that blue Bahama color. Uh, I mean, that
yep,
thing is absolutely beautiful. The action on that too, man, is just it's just unreal.
yeah.
Um,
The cool thing about our Shaker Z, if you look at it like from looking at it directly at the back, you can see how that belly bows out on it there, and really bulbs out, and that's what makes that thing have that shimmy when it falls. Yep, exactly, and that it almost like putting the brakes on when you let it fall, and it. Man, it just you know as well as I do when you're fishing a lipless crankbait, when you rip it out of the grass or you rip it out of whatever cover you're in and you stop it, that's when you get the majority of those strikes. And ours does it nose down and fall straight to the bottom. And we have a lot of variations in the Shaker Z. We have the knock knock, which is the one knocker type lure deal. Then we have the mime, which is a silent version. I think we were the first in the industry to come out with a silent lipless crankbait, and that's a big deal when lakes get a lot of pressure. And then we have one called the Heavy Z, and it's the exact same body of that when you're holding, except it's a full 3/4 ounce.
Oh
And you,
wow.
yeah, and you can really launch it and fish it really good.
All right. Good question here. Am I better off with a jig or soft plastic when the water warms up? I love jigs sometimes, but the fish don't like them.
When the water warms up, there's something about soft plastics to me that is just better, and that's not just me. That's been a trend for years, man, 30, 40 years. Just soft plastics just move good, and when the water warms up, um, fish are more aggressive to moving lures in the warmer water than they are the cold water. In the cold water, if their metabolism is so low when they're looking at something and it has a lot of movement, the way ribbon tails and soft plastics do, they feel if they start chasing it, it's going to swim off. You know, a jig has more of a dull fall, more less action when it's moving. And in the wintertime, that's in colder water, that's going to get you a lot more bites. So that's the analogy and the science that I feel the reason that is. But I would say don't change anything up. You're doing the right things. I go to plastics more in the summertime as well.
Do you do a what? I mean, we see your videos, and I watch a lot of your TV shows. One thing I've never seen you do is as much night fishing. Do you like fish and do a lot of fishing at night?
Yeah, I do. I used to do it all the time. You know how the fruit jar tournaments or the Friday nighters or Tuesday nighters, whatever you want to call them. We had them here,
Right.
and that's what I grew up fishing and enjoying, and it's a huge ordeal here in North Alabama. So, um, you get on into the summer months, and being able to get out in the summertime is it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a small trail around here. Actually, two of them that fishes. Some of them on Friday night, some of them on Saturday nights. I don't know, man. It just seems like the bigger fish come out to play in the evenings.
They do. They're a lot easier to fool. That's for sure. Yeah.
Uh, so we've touched on Duckett. We've kind of touched on Lose a little bit. You're obviously a fan of the Pro Ti, the BB1 Pro. What other reels do you have in your arsenal right now, other than the Pro Ti and the BB1 Pro?
Yeah, I would probably say the three most that I throw is the Team Loose Custom Pro. I love that reel, the Pro TI, and the BB1 Pro. That BB1 Pro, um, man, if you could say, Tim, you can only have one reel, I would have that one.
Mm.
It's known more for a cranking reel than other things, but you can flat out launch anything that you're fishing with that reel. And then that big paddle handle is really effective as well.
Yeah, some of these guys fishing nighttime. We've got some sticks around here. They're pretty good on the lake in the daytime and nighttime. So they're kind of telling me to hush up a little bit about the night fish.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be giving
Yeah,
anything away.
don't
That's
don't give
right.
out too many secrets, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
That's right.
yeah. So, um, back to what I was saying. The Lose, the Duckett, the Profound. Um, you know what? What else is in your arsenal? That you just can't live without. When you got a day on the water, you're packing up the rig, you're headed out. Of course, you're packing your Duckett rods, your Lose reels, your Azumas, your Profound. What else are you taking with you?
Man, I would, I market them a lot and I believe in them. I would say the Fish Monkey gloves are phenomenal.
Hmm.
I really like the gloves are an important part of the day. And then just the basic stuff that everybody else should have when they're out there. Obviously, uh, getting into the warm months, guys, always make sure you got enough water with you. Hydration, that's a big thing for me. Sunscreen, don't take that lightly. And then as far as tackle goes, I just try to be as versatile as I can and have as much as I can. Um, my electronics are my eyes underwater. That's a big deal for me with the Raymarine units and the Navionics mapping and all of that. I probably would say I graph as much as anybody on tour. I spend a lot, even when I shouldn't be. When I should be on the bank when the bass are up there spawning, I'm still trying to find that magical school offshore. But that's my favorite way to catch them.
Right. That's great, man. Well, Timmy, as I said before, man, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here with us. We're going to give away some prizes tomorrow. We'll have a drawing. Is there anything else you want to tell? I mean, we got a lot of guys, a lot of young folks around here, a lot of high school bass teams. A lot of them have big aspirations to be a professional fisherman one day. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you got a lot of kids that are doing well. You got some that are maybe struggling just a little bit. What would you tell these guys that have these dreams of being the next Timmy Horton?
I would say get confidence in moving lures. That really dominates and in the styles of fishing and the way you need to fish in practice. I mean, you look how crazy it is that we were there, and let's face it, Eufaula was a mud hole when we were there. It was just nasty, and Jacob Wheeler wins it cranking. And look at Ott Defoe just won at Fort cranking. I think those are the biggest things to tell guys is to get confidence in their crankbait fishing. I can tell you when I was young, to me it was all about a Carolina rig or a Texas rig, and I didn't. And that is when David Fritz was winning everything, and I finally decided I'm going to learn to throw these big plugs. And when I did, my fishing changed, and you're going to catch bigger fish. You're going to be able to cover water quicker, and being able to be here. Here's the analogy that I tell folks. Okay, when fish get offshore. Okay, and you can take any of the magical points. The couple of bends in Barber they get out on the main lake, the couple of the outside point on the main river at Cheney Hatchie. All of those magical places that they get out on, take that and go anywhere. Okay, when you come across them, when they're loaded up out there, they're competitive, and when they're competitive, you're not going to fish through them without getting bit. So take a lure that you can cover a lot of water with. Now, when you do get them to catching them, now you got the whole school fired up, and you can fish faster, you can fish more efficient. I can hit that school, get 6 or 7 big ones out of it, and then move on to the next school. And that's just the way that crankbaits allow you to do. And we're just now getting into. Hey, I can promise you, I wish we were and I love Toho. Don't get me wrong, but put me there in January. I wish we were on Eufaula in June instead of Toho. But that's the way it is. But hey, the place that you guys live is a magical place, and there's not many places. I know the Bobby Pagets and all of the guys that grew up fishing down there. All of the stuff with Tom Mann and the big 20 pluses and everything. There's so much history there at Eufaula, Seminole as well. That it is. It's just magical, and the young guys that are fishing in that area should take advantage of it because there's not many places that you can learn to deep crank like you can at Lake Eufaula.
All right. Uh, Speaking of deep cranking again, Eric Henderson, I have a Z-Boss 25. What setup should I use? I never know when to use it.
All right. Z-Boss 25 is probably the deepest diving stocked crankbait in the industry. It will hit 26, 27 foot. Sorry about that. That's my dad calling. I'll call him back in a little bit. Um, and what I use when I rig that up is a 711, and you can throw that on 12 or 14 pound fluorocarbon. But that 711 Pro Series with the Luz BB1 Pro and that 6:4 to 1 gear ratio, that's the setup I use on the Z-Boss 25. Big thing about that lure, you can absolutely launch it, and I want to be fishing that lure anywhere, anytime the fish are in 22 to 26 foot of water. Our Z-Boss 22 will also hit 22, 23, but I want to be digging. I want to be hitting bottom, when I'm fishing a big deep diving crankbait.
All right. Chad Wise, well, he's full of the questions tonight. What kind of music is playing in your truck on the way to the ramp before a big tournament?
Well, I'm probably as diverse as they come in my music selection, man. I got everything from old school country to modern hip hop. I ain't kidding you. I got a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah,
So
that sounds like a lot of us down here too. It's just whatever mood you're in at the time, right?
exactly. That's a good question, though. Yeah.
All right. So, well, I mean, the questions have kind of stopped, man. Is there Anything else you want to say? About Profound or about Duckett or about Lose or anything else you want to touch on while I got you on the line here?
No, I appreciate you letting me share the tools of my trade with the fans and the people down in your area. And I would say the Z-Boss 20, 22, and 25. Those are the three at Eufaula that are coming up. That's going to work between now and November.
Okay. Well, once again, Timmy, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. This made my day. Absolutely having some time to talk with you. Uh, Guys, you can follow Timmy at Timmy Horton Outdoors on Facebook. Also, let's see if I got the times right here. Where did I put them? I had them over here. Yep, I
Yep,
lost them. Anyway, the Pursuit Channel, right? I think
yep, Pursuit
it was
Channel, and
Saturday mornings at 7:30. Is that right?
yeah, you can see all of the airings if you go to TimmyHortonOutdoors.com. It has a full list of all the airings there, and you can watch it digitally on Pursuit Up. It's just a lot of different ways to watch it, so they can go check that out as well. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm a religious watcher. I love it. I appreciate everything you do, man. Uh, if I'm sure we'll be selling through this Profound stuff pretty quick and placing another order, and we look forward to representing the brand.
Hey, I appreciate you, Jamie. Y'all have a good one, and best of luck to all the anglers down there as well.
Thank you, Timmy. Have a great one, man.
See you, brother. All right, man. Bye bye.